the welcome screen. Here you'll have your recent documents, and then you can open a document. This is your create new document book library. Down here you'll have some tips from Adobe and other plugins and whatever else you need for InDesign or want. I'm going to show you something real quick that you can do with InDesign before I get started. Let's open this up real quick. And then we're going to go to View. Alright. So, then we're going to zoom out. Here's something that I started on way back when. You can see the layouts of it. This is not actual text, this is filler text. Right here. Something like this. This is what you can do with InDesign after practice. Pretty cool, huh? And I'm going to put on the, there we go. So you can see everything, how it's lined up, like that. Okay. So let's get out of this, and we're going to create a new document. Remember, when you're starting a new InDesign file, you want to create book or library. This is book and library is when you put multiple documents together. So you want to start with a document. Print, we're going to do 10 columns. And we're going to do regular letter size. Okay. So, basic things about InDesign. Over here is your toolbar. You have your select tool, your text tool, your pen tool, your line tool, your rectangular tool, eyedropper, magnifying glass. Up here you have some other features to help you along, like that. And here you have your shortcuts. So let's start with text. So you'll get your text tool, and as soon as you click the text tool, you see that your styles, fonts, and everything else starts to show up. And let's create some text. So I'm going to zoom in, which is Control plus, and I'm going to check something. Let's do welcome. Okay. Now, the bounding box is too big for the text inside, so we're going to double click. You can either, if you're on a PC, Control A to select all, or you can just drag it over, and then you go up to your over here, and you'll choose the font type. InDesign comes with fonts already built in, but you can download other fonts. Just be careful where you download them from, because some might have licensing agreements, and if you use them incorrectly, you can get sued. So we're going to use a regular font. Let's use the font type that I use for the Collegian, which is Bakersfield. That's the header font that is used. And we're going to up the, there we go, to 72. We're going to keep it regular. Down here you'll either have regular, bold, and any other features that come with that font. So we're going to play with this a little bit. So my mouse is very sensitive. I don't know what's going on with it. So you're on your selection tool, and now you're off of it. Now you're on it. So you can move it around. You can line it up somewhere. Move it down if you don't want it all the way there. Or if you double click the edge right here, the bounding box will automatically adjust to the text. So that way you don't have to. Let's do Control Z, which is undo. That way you don't have to do all this. And here's a good example. This red box right here with the plus inside means you have missing text. So you'll need to double click, and then there's your text. Or, let's do Control Z, undo. You'll have to do it manually if you're doing an article or body text. So that way you can have it lined up the way you want to. So we're going to line all this up. And since it only goes to 72, which we can manually input, I'm going to scale it by hand. So I'm going to go right here. My cursor is right there at the edge. I'm going to do Control Shift, and I'm going to bring it out to that line. And there we go. It's lined up. Let's play the text a little bit. Say if I want to underline, there's an automatic underline. If I want line through it, there we go. Say if I want to change the color, we'll go up to here to fill, and here is your stroke. Fill will change the color of the text, so we want it pink. There's pink. Oh, and to get your columns off, your columns are to help you line up everything, so that way everything's proportional. If you want them off, just simply press W, and they're gone. I suggest work in with the columns showing, that way you don't have all your text, photos, whatever content you're using to be out of place and it looks messy. It gives your design structure, but it still looks cool. So if I want to change it to blue, where's my blue? There's my dark blue. There we go. Say if I want to have two different colors, so I want the inside to be blue, but I want the surrounding to be a different color. Say if I want it to be pink, and then go into Selection Tool. There we go. See? Remember, stroke goes around, fill changes the inside. So we're gonna leave it like that. That looks cool. So let's add an underline automatically. See? Say if I want the letters to be spaced out a little bit more, I'm gonna go up to here. You can either use the drop down box, or you can use the arrow keys like this. Now, I have missing text, so I'll have to click. There we go. Or undo, Control Z, like that. Say if I want to do a line just regularly, so I'm going to take this line off, unclick, and then I'm going to take the line tool, hold down Shift. That way, I'm going to show you if you don't hold down Shift. This is what happens to your line. You'll have to manually line everything up like that. But if you hold down Shift, and then you'll trace, wherever you go, the line will stay straight, like that. And up here, your line even has options, so you can change how thick it is, and you can also change what type of line it is. Say I want it dotted. There we go. A dotted line. See? And I want it to be lined up with both this edge and this edge. So I'm going to either zoom in or zoom in, and I'm going to pull it in. And pull in the other side. Line up. See? Did you see those? Where is it? Now, if you can see, I can't really point to the screen because I'm using the cursor. But you can see on the outside of the line box, bounding box, you have two green arrows. When you see green arrows or light blue, it means that you're lined up with whichever is below, above, or beside what you're still placing. That can help you have everything lined up. So that way you don't have one piece of text above the other. And it looks completely just ridiculous. I'm going to show you about that in a few. Just going over basic tools in InDesign. So say if I wanted to move this entire thing somewhere else. I'm going to zoom out, find the place I want to move it, and then using the selection tool, click on a space and click and drag and select what I want to select. Say if I just want to move this, I'll just select this. If I want to move this one, select that one. If I want to move them both, I'll drag it right there. And I want it up here in the corner. That looks fine. See? It's in the corner. It's lined up. And we're going to move it over some. You can either use your arrow keys to move it down and over like that. That looks better. See? This space, this borderline is your bleed space. So say if you're a magazine, a newspaper, or a book, this space right here will be where other pages connect. So you don't want, these are like your margins. You don't want your text to go out of the margins and into the staple or whatever you use to hold together your product. And let's do something else. That looks fine. So let's go back to the text tool. Uh-oh, see, this is not lined up. So Control Shift, and we're going to bring it in. There we go. Let's put a photo in. So this is what you use to use your photo. Your rectangular, can I show up? This is your rectangular tool. And you can, in like other Adobe products, they have other options heading. You just have to look for the little arrow in the bottom right hand corner. So rectangular frame tool. So you can make it as big as you want, like that. And you'll always tell when you're in this mode where you can see all the lines, columns, you can see where the boxes are, even if you're not clicked on them. But if you're out of it, you can't see where the box is. And we're going to, let's do the upper right hand corner, and watch. Look closely at the top. You can see, I'm going to do it again. The green line all the way to the top, and it's going across from our rectangular frame tool to our text. That means it's lined up. And we're going to do Control D, which is place, or you can do, make sure you're clicked on it and it's highlighted. You'll know if it's highlighted when you have all these boxes around the edges and the yellow and blue box. Go to File, Place. See? And we're going to look for a photo. So let's go to Libraries. Let's go to my picture libraries. Have all these pictures. Let's go here. Let's look at a photo that I've taken right here. Okay. Now, this photo is not in it. You can't see, but you can adjust. So when you're double clicked, let's go back. You're double clicked, you can just move this box when it's blue. But if you double click inside and it's orange frame, that means you have control over the photo and you can move it within the bounding box. It's like crop. See? Or if you go up here and you want to just do the photo. You don't want to mess with, if you don't want to mess with the actual bounding box, you just want to make sure the photo inside, you can go up here and you have these options right here. This is fit proportionally. So the entire photo is now fit proportionally inside of the bounding box. Or this option right here. I don't know why they're not showing up. And you also have this option, which will have the bounding box framed to the photo, or you can have the photo framed to the bounding box. Oh wait, what was that backwards? No, the bounding box framed to the photo. And then this one will have the photo framed to the bounding box. I'm sorry about that. I know what they do is just, without the name showing up, I forget sometimes. So we're going to frame it proportionally. And look. It's already looking great. But we want some text though. Or we can do this. We can even change the shape. So we go to Object, Convert Shape, and you have a list of already preset shapes. Let's do an ellipse. Let's see what else we can do. Triangle. Polygon. But I'm going to use an ellipse. Looks good. Now let's add some text. I want to add some text. So we're going to go here, and we're going to bring out some text. I'm going to line it up, and we're going to bring it out. There's that green arrow. If you don't have any text, or you don't want to place it in there first, you just want to have everything set, you can go to Type, Fill with Placeholder Text. And it has preset text ready for you. If you want to, you can change the font. So we're going to do Adobe Castle Pro. And let's do a 10-point font. There we go. Say if you want to have a column, you know, some people like columns, you're going to do Control B, and this is the number you want to work with. Now, depending on how many columns you have, I have 10 columns altogether. But for every 2 is considered 1 column. So I have a total of 5 columns, and I want everything to be lined up. So the welcome and the dotted line go, this is 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. So I'm typing 3. Don't worry about none of this. Click OK. And everything's in a column. And I can bring it down. Now look how that looks. Looks kind of cool. Say if I want to add a little more text, and let's do it. So Type, you can add more placeholder, or you can do Control A, which is select all, and you're going to copy it, Control C, and then you're going to paste it, Control V. Now, I have missing text. The easiest thing about this is if you don't want to go anywhere else, you don't want to expand it, or you can't bring it out, you can click on the red box, and there we go. And that will automatically create another box just for you with the missing text in it. So that way you can line everything up the way you want. Now, I have 3 columns right here, and I have a total of 5. So these are the last 2 columns, and I'm going to put 2, and there we go. See? That doesn't look too bad. Now let's play with some text. Now I'm a big fan of drop-down layers, so we're going to learn how to do that. So I'm gonna highlight, press this, go into my columns, and then I'm going to double click inside the text box, and I'm going to highlight the first letter. And then we'll go up here to paragraphing, and then these will be your two major components you'll use to do a drop down letter. The first one will drop it down, and then the second one is if you want 2 letters or 3 letters. It goes across and down, but we just want 1 letter, and we're going to do up to 4. Okay, so let's go to view. But I want this color to match this to our header color, so I'm going to, instead of me going to fill, choosing the color, and then going to stroke, I'm going to take my eyedropper tool, make sure that you're highlighted on what you want to change, and I'm going to click on the letter or color, and it will automatically change it. Now it changed it to that, so we're going to drop it down. This is 10, and then we're going to, there we go, and there's our drop down letter. I'm going to add a stroke to the photo, so go up here to our stroke, black, there we go. I can make it thicker if I want, like that. Okay, say if I want to add more text. So I'm going to drop this down, and I'll add more filler text. Then more filler text after that. And we're going to zoom out. Now look at that. Let's say if I want a little caption for this photo. So I'm going to drop this down using my arrow keys. Remember, in order to move things down, or 1 or 2 things, you'll highlight using your arrow keys or your mouse. And then we're going to line, these two are not lined up, so we're going to line them up. We'll go over to this and drag it down. There we go. And we're going to take our text tool, and we're going to create, and we're going to use this as flower. Okay, now let's make sure that Adobe Casa Pro, change the correct font. Where is it? There it is. And I want it a bit bigger. There we go. And move it right under. And it's too much space, so I'm going to move it up. Just line everything up. There we go. That looks good. Alright, and that concludes our first tutorial video. Hope you like it. Bye.